diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. It's apparent these girls staring. I'm Rick flaring, gold across my chest. I'm fresh to death, I'm Paul Bearing, not at all scary. One eye open like Betty Wops that find to these circles that's going in like a carry shot. Woo! I'm going in like a Mary Pop off that Mary Crop at the top flow at the Marriott. So questioning me is like questioning you. See, we the best dressed, so come and get blessed with the crew. Not one but two, different ways to slaughter your crew. Committed tat across the chest, I guess she blessed with the truth. People want to see them checks, representation of proof. Living through my elders trying to resonate to the youth. But ain't nothing to get my flash on. Longevity is heavily embedded in my melanin. Layman terms, I last long. My grind repetitive, I'm smoother than real silk. Lyrical cash cow who can't cry over spilled milk. We in here. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. This ain't no normal situation, this preparation with greatness. Industry full of fakeness is really up for the taking. See, life is what happened to you, more so how you take it. Don't get stripped of your knowledge and mentally leave you naked. I like to live otherwise. I'm sorry that I'm fresh to death. I put the polo and apologize. See, black son, we ain't nothing like the mother guys. Quit to socialize, we organize, then we mobilize. Off the deep end like a scuba diver. And no confusion, just keep it pushing like Uber drivers. Woo! Business fresh just like a supervisor in a Gucci visor. Can't find a smoother rhymer. You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us. You talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, willing dealing, limo jet flying. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us. We Rick flaring on us, flaring on us.
Yeah, DQ baby. Shout out that boy Nigga for that fire track. Hey, Black Sun, sun up. What's up, Vinny Vegas? What in Vegas? Yeah. Shout out Pharaoh's Kids, D-Phase. Yeah. Bubba C. Yeah. Rick flaring on them. Rick flaring on them. Rick flaring on them. Rick flaring, sun up, baby.
Hey, yo, Scotty, you going crazy for this one. We see what you're doing, we salute you. Hey, let's get it started. It's Backpack Capital One. What's in your wallet? Got a call from my man A. Scott. I said I got it. Love that you highlighting all of these black colleges. Try to pay me for doing this. Look, bruh, if you don't get off my line with that foolishness, voice of the SWAC, pull up where you at. No cap. If the Brody is speaking the soft facts. My advice, tune in to every show. Captain Petty, but we know that the sergeant is with the smoke. Speculate, just tell me what is we doing. Get into it, okay, look, I'ma say this and keep it moving. My boy Scotty, man, he offered the least. Black grad, paying college, I'm glad that he called me. Walking, cause we all been taught that talk is cheap. Even primetime knows Scott for the HBCU streets.
What is going on, everybody? It's your boy Scotty, man, back with another one, man. Listen, you already know what it is. It's showtime in the building. I couldn't do this without my brother from another. Get up for boy, Zo Phillips.
What up, man? What up,
What's
man?
going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Zo?
Oh, man. Everything is everything, man.
Everything's everything. Listen,
Everything is everything,
I
man.
feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
I do, man, because, you know, Everything is everything.
Everything, baby. Everything is everything, baby.
It's no better way to start the show.
Hey, tough loss, but it ain't. You act like we getting crucified over here like it's a stake in the heart.
No.
Hey, man, look. The only bad thing, you lose a championship game, and it should hurt because it's a championship game to go to the NCAA tournament. But all things apply when we're talking about Jackson State. We hold our heads up because, again, we weren't picked to be where we were.
Wait, what you say?
Hey, look, hey.
Two seed. So you the number 2 seed.
No. We're number 2 seed because of what we did during the season. I said we weren't picked. We weren't projected to be where we finished toward the end of the year. We weren't the number 2 seed when the season started. Now
I don't want to hear none of that. Because I don't want to hear none of that. I don't want to hear none of that.
You don't like truthful silver lining. You want misery and sorrow over here. Hey, man, look, kudos to Alabama State. Now, look, being honest, I'll say this. Being honest, being that it's more former school, that kind of makes it sting a little bit more. You know what I'm saying?
I forgot about that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But outside of that, man, look, kudos to Alabama State. Hard fought game, you know what I'm saying? They deserve to win it. You know what I'm saying? But again, we up and on with that. I'll say this much, man. I'm looking forward to basketball season next year, man. Jack State's preseason, we should be a number 2 seed or number 1 seed going to next year.
Oh, we're hearing none of that. We talk about we ain't talking about 2026. Ain't nobody talking about no 2026.
We might as well because Alabama State season gonna be over on Tuesday, so we might as well go ahead and move on to 2026.
And you know what day it is?
A lovely day.
It is.
It is always a lovely day it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's always a great day. It's always a great day.
I'm gonna point something out to you. You know what? I'm gonna point something out to you, dog. You ain't being consistent now. Your lows don't be as good as your highs with Jack State win. I just want you to know that now.
What you say? You said my lows? What happened?
Your lows don't match your highs. When we win, your lows don't be as good now.
Because what do we need to talk about it for? I let it trickle around. You know what I'm saying? And you're right. It's not because when I was low. When I was low, it was low. And Ashley Robinson was knocking me across the head every day.
But the world didn't see that. But the world didn't see that.
That's not my problem. I don't care nothing about that. I don't care nothing about that. But best believe that, because listen, I'll tell you straight up. When y'all won that little game in December, right? And literally not even it was like 8:15 in the morning. Crust still in my eye. He texted me, national champs. I returned it so quickly. I'm about that life. You meet me with that energy. Listen, I'm telling you right now, if you root against Jackson State, I'm telling you right now, if he actually got your number, he gonna meet you with that same energy. And I met him with that same energy after.
A lovely day.
I don't care if they ran out of gas, ran out of petrol, ran out of diesel. They lost. Ain't no excuses out here. Bama's lost. Hot ale.
Hey man, look. Ain't no shame in losing, dog. You got like, look, we lost the game. You got like we got blowed out or something. It could have went either way. Kudos to Alabama State. It was a good game.
It just didn't go your way. As long as it didn't go your way.
Look, contrary to some people, Scotty, we're not gonna win all the time. We not. So it's okay to lose.
That's why I'm enjoying it.
Hey, look, and I can stomach losing the championship game because guess what? I'm there.
Okay.
I'm there.
I can stomach y'all losing it too.
I bet you could.
I could.
That's why you had that Pepto Bismol December when we wanted to.
You know, it be like that sometimes. It's all right though. If we be honest, shouldn't even be that. But listen, y'all went through.
Hold on. And you know what? I'll say this too. Since you've been in this here space, we got a lot more dubs and L's.
but them L's is big though. But there's some big L's. Y'all ain't taking no little L's. Y'all taking them big L's.
Hey, we got wait, but look, we especially
big L's.
Especially when we talking about football. I mean, we got a lot more hardware than losses when it comes in football.
Big L's though, taking big L's. It wasn't. We ain't talking about no regular L's.
And guess what? I didn't get. And you know what? Honestly, since you've been in the space, the big dog in HBCU ball has been Jackson State. Honestly.
In what regards?
I mean, in football, for sure.
Nah, definitely not football.
Oh, man, for sure. There's been I'll tell you what, since you've been in the space, who's been the more consistent program?
It's been between FAMU and
No, it has.
Yes, it has. It's going toe for toe. What are you talking about?
Now they toe for toe and they got one SWAC title and one Celebration Bowl championship.
You said the big dogs. They are a big dog.
I said big. I said
no.
I said big dog. You put S is plural. I said big dog.
No. In the same motion that you all had TC, Cozy had the same year.
Hold on. You acting like a Republican now. You just finagled around it. I said since you've been in this space, who's been the most consistent, biggest winner in since you've been in this space with Jack State? It ain't been no Jack State. No.
FAMU.
No, it ain't. FAMU got one. FAMU has one conference title since you've been in the space.
And a national championship.
One. Jackson State has one national championship. No. Since you've been in the space, how many conference titles Jackson State got?
I'm asking. This is the question I'm asking. Are we having the Michael Jordan conversation or are we having the LeBron conversation? Because if you're having the LeBron conversation, just because you win and you lost, don't make you champions.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I'm just saying. I'm gonna be very clear about what
you going one game though. I said the whole. We read the whole resume. How many conference titles Jackson State got since you've been in the space?
2.
Huh?
2.
Jackson got 3.
Oh, 3 because of the recent one. Yeah, my bad. 3.
So 3 out of 4 years, Jackson State got a conference title and one national championship. How many FAMU got? 1 and 1. Okay, then. Okay. So FAMU had one good season. FAMU had one. That's not. They had one. They had one magical season since you've been in this.
That's not how that works.
How come it don't?
Because at the end of the day, it's literally they didn't win the conference. That's it. They lost one time.
Hold on. I'm like, why did they not win the conference?
Because of Prime.
No, because of that J on my hip.
No, it's because of Prime.
No, Prime. What Prime coach did?
Jackson.
Okay, then.
It was because of Prime.
Okay, then.
What happened when he left? Willie. No.
What happened? What happened?
We're not gonna do that. Willie dogged it. Willie dogged y'all. Ran it. Moonwalked to the national championship.
Okay, and then hold on. And then the very next season,
after year 2 of his ass getting whooped the first year, then he got the newbie.
So I like how you. I said Jackson State. You go on the coaches. So again, who's won more in this space since you've been here than Jackson State? Nobody. We can go. We can go overall win-loss record. We can go conference record. We can go conference titles. We can go national championships. Who's done better? Who's had better success since you've been in this space?
I would say, just me personally.
That's because you just don't want to say Jackson.
That's just me personally.
That's
just me personally.
Okay.
I mean, they didn't have a cheat code. That's all I'm saying. They didn't have a cheat code.
So I say all that to say it ain't hurting like you think it is.
I'm just saying. Listen, at the end of the day, a loss is all right in the world. So it's all good. You're not gonna spoil my joy, okay?
I'm not trying to. You can enjoy it.
I have.
Hey, I tell you what.
And nobody can take it away. Okay,
I'm not trying to take your joy away, but I tell you this.
Yes,
I tell you what this. If you were the football player right now, this upcoming season, I tell you, you need an NIL endorsement with Pip the Bismarck because the way the football season is gonna look come 2025.
Like I said, listen. You're not gonna take my joy. This is my joy. Okay, you're not about to take it.
Football season coming, baby.
You're not about to flip it. You're not about to twist it. You ain't taking my joy.
Football season coming.
That J got turned to an L. Okay, like that J
football
got
season coming, baby.
Not L. It's all right.
Football season coming. Boogeyman coming. So kudos, Nick. Look, congratulations, Nick. You got you one.
Yeah. Don't take my joy. You're not about to do that. Not about to do that. All right.
It would hurt me if Fam won.
Still gotta give him kudos though. Listen, I had to throw my salt on it first before I gave some kudos. Shout out to Ashley Robinson, 2-time AD of the year. Listen, real question though, Zo, real quick on the hot takes. When do they make him SWAC commish?
Never.
I know you said never.
No.
Why would they not do that?
Well, I mean, why do we want Ashley right here in Jackson? He from here. He home in Jackson. He needs to say the AD of Jackson State. We don't want him to be the commissioner. We're good.
That's very selfish of you. I think that is very selfish.
It is.
I think that is very, very selfish of you. Because clearly, so you telling me, okay, let me just get this straight. Because I'm gonna be very careful with my words because I know you have a relationship with Charles. I'll say this, and I don't want to put you in no precarious situation. I'll say this. So you're telling me that if you have a young hotshot who's very innovative, who has done more as an AD than the current commissioner did as an AD, has been more impactful, more innovative, why shouldn't he be in that position? And granted, I know people are like, oh, he just signed an extension. The Bama is in lawsuits and all type of stuff. But I'm saying, why wouldn't they be looking into trying to make Ashley Robinson the SWAC commissioner?
Well, I'm gonna say this because I know on this, and I'll say this. In relation to when Charles was the AD, I'm gonna say this, at Texas Southern, Charles did amazing stuff. It was different because I have to say this. It was a different landscape because at that time there was no NILs and some of the issues or things in the climate was totally different. If I speak to that, you know what I'm saying, with regards to what they all got to deal with. Now, the one thing I will give Ashley definitely more credit for is navigating, as I always say, this new current college landscape because it is a landmine compared to what it was 10 years ago. I think we all can agree to that, right? It's a whole different landscape. So I definitely want to give Charles credit for that because he did. If anybody who knows in the chat, he was phenomenal at Prairie View and then when he got over to Texas Southern, he did phenomenal as an AD. And I get it, but man, I'm probably not the person because I'm so biased. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna keep it a book, man. I love Ashley being the AD at Jackson State, and any Jacksonian. Watch this. This is how you know what I'm telling you ain't cap. Any Jacksonian that can come in this chat will tell you the very thing I'm telling you. Hell no, we don't want him to be the SWAC commissioner. Because if you look at Jackson State's history and lineage from an athletic director standpoint, it ain't a pretty sight though. Because what Ashley has done since he's been at Jack State, we never had it prior to. And so why mess up a good thing while I got it just for the sake of everybody else want a piece of it? So that's why I say that. Well, I'm saying this now in the big scope of things, if he were, and because I'm gonna go along with it, if he were to become the SWAC AD, I think he could do a damn good job. But the only thing I would probably give pushback on, or not pushback, but I have to make this statement. We have to be careful in thinking what you could do at one place that a lot of intricate things on, and think that you can do the same thing or the same type of job for the sum of 11 other institutions, because that's a whole different gamut. You see what I'm saying? Because let me say this too, Scotty, every state has their own little intricate issues, right? By state laws and things of that nature. It's a lot of different moving parts that I probably don't even know that goes into it. But I know just on the big scheme of picture, because of what he's doing in Jackson, we can try to say at least he'll probably have some new refreshing ideas. But to that, I think, I do give credence to say that he'll probably do a good job as the commissioner. But again, it's so many other moving parts that with that, I still want to stay in Jackson.
Listen, I wouldn't be. Listen, at the end of the day, I completely understand if Jackson doesn't want to give up Ashley Robinson. Listen, the dude's been, running up a storm of just wins and championships. I think, and I'll say this, Ashley wouldn't be my first choice because I would like a business guy. Like, I would like a business-minded, like, hey, business owner, business ran or whatever. But I know that a lot of stuff that goes on in this HBCU space is, listen, I want somebody who understands us and understands the skeletons in the closet, won't put us on blast, a lot of that. And when you bring in an outside entity to run an HBCU, it's no different than if you bring a white person into a Baptist church. They don't understand what is going on, why they got tambourines, why they jumping around and hollering, why they doing all this, why they every time the pastor say something, they got to say amen. Ain't that right? Go to church, talk about it. Like you don't understand all the aspects of what is going on, and then you start calling things out of place and people feel some type of way. I think Ashley is a safe enough hire that he doesn't embarrass you, and then he doesn't embarrass you by your flaws. Let me be very clear. He doesn't embarrass you by your flaws, and he's young and innovative enough to where he can take you farther than the ceiling of what Dr. Charles of what Dr. Charles has done, right? So,
well, I tell you what, to your point, and I want to, we've talked about this before, so I actually bring this out here since we're talking about it. Now, I too, like if you were to ask me who's my first choice, let's just say hypothetically speaking, the SWAC was shopping for an AD, and we're talking about doing some things different. We want to replace McClellan. If that were to happen, my first choice wouldn't be Ashley Robinson. And I'm not saying it because, and I'm not saying it as a means to keep him in Jackson. I mean, seriously, I would suggest, and we talked about this before, I would go along the lines of someone who's in corporate America, connection with CEOs. Remember that time I even told you, off camera, we mentioned this conversation. I said, man, I would have a plan. I need the Council of Presidents to have a plan in place of what do they want from the SWAC and what direction are they trying to go in. And if they really trying to maximize and grow it and do some other revenue streams, I would say, you know what, even if we didn't have somebody in mind, let's reach out to a Maverick Carter.
Ooh.
To get some ideas, because I look at what some of the other conferences have done with regards to getting someone, ex-CEOs or COOs from like some of these, not just Fortune 500 companies or Fortune 5 companies, but, with who's done like media relations, or not media relations, but like media contracts and things of that nature, or some type of corporate executive from like a record label or in television, those types of things, right? And who has connections. And that's why I said reach out to Maverick Carter, because in the space that he's in, right?
Yep.
In the and having those connections, you could pinpoint to having a young up and coming, black, person with those ties to lead it. And probably one that has an HBCU background. Also, because I also look back to it, I know you've seen it, right? For example, not to go off course, but it's gonna be relative. When you talk about, look at Red Lobster, right? Where Red Lobster was heading, and then you get that young black CEO now.
Yes.
And again, forward thinking, young, but guess what? He grew up but worked, and comes from the industry with some thought-provoking different things. So that's what I mean when I use that example, when I say a Maverick Carter, right? I just think that would having ties to the NBA, having ties to LeBron, having ties across the stream, whether it's, different record labels, them having their own platform in social media, having the sports agency, having all these relationships, but also in corporate America too, and so I would say, hey, get the HBCUs in that space if I were to go outside of Ashley Robinson, because I want something different, and I would go down that road.
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at that. Listen, for me, the people that I've talked to, I said I would go get somebody, like the VP of sales at a NBA franchise, or, somebody who's really had to deal with selling, somebody who's really had to deal with the intricacies of pushing brands and things like that. A VP of selling, a VP of something, or just somebody that was in control of marketing or branding or selling, and get them in. Because again, this is the thing. All the ancillary things, I can hire somebody to do that. I can hire somebody to be over top of budgeting and this, that, and I can hire people for that. But the I was about to say the head man. No, did he? The guy, the woman, the man or woman in charge, I feel like has to walk in and put the SWAC in a branding situation. And this is the part where I disagree with a lot of people, is because what they love to talk about is oh my God, he's the lead man in the NCAA committee, and that means that doesn't do anything for the SWAC. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Y'all can come. Listen, I'm so sick and tired of hearing that. Oh, you know, he's the lead guy in the NCAA. So that's a resume builder for him. That doesn't bring any money to the SWAC. None. He can't even vote on SWAC teams because he's a SWAC commissioner, right? So it's things like that I'm like, who gives a damn, right? So again, for me, I would want somebody, VP of sales, marketing, branding, you know, somebody, maybe the lady from SMAC Entertainment. I would love for that white woman, Schwartz or something like that. You know, and she Jewish? Oh, I mean, that's a double whammy. You white and Jewish? Come on, and you got your own marketing company? I'll take it. But, you know, it is what it is. But again, I think whoever takes that lead role, you know, if it's an AD Bryant, which I would, the guys inside of the industry that I would take, AD Bryant, Ashley, Miss Suggs, and the white Bama from NCAT, Hinton. I like Hinton. People might not like him. I like that white man. And white people lead to other white people. That's just how I feel. White people lead to other white people. So those would be my choices of in-house candidates that I would be like, oh yeah, let's rock with them. But if you're going outside of that, I just think that when you walk into a room, when that person walks into a room, they need to know that that person is bringing the SWAC and the branding to the table, and understand what power that looks like and what that feels like.
I wouldn't think of anybody in-house, because no matter what, when I think in-house, I still think much of the same. I don't think anything, I'm not saying that they have to be radical, but I don't see any dynamic shift upward with anybody in-house.
Mm-hmm.
I don't.
That's fair. Hey, you know who else doesn't get it in the house? Jeez,
Oh, goddamn.
Listen, man. I have never met.
One time.
I have never met somebody so oblivious to doing the right thing. I just haven't met anybody so, you know how like you have a kid that just won't do right? Like you're like, man, like it's not hard to just do your homework. It's not hard to come in and brush your teeth and wash your face, just the basics. And that's what I feel like Michael Vick is not doing. Like, bro, what is this? What is, you're in the facility and you look like a Southside drug dealer in the middle of Norfolk State Athletics with no Norfolk State gear. Bro, you ain't got a green, you ain't got a yellow, you ain't got nothing. Nothing. I have this Bama. Jesus Christ, man. The people around you got more gear on than you.
I gotta give him credit. I saw him one time. First round of the MEAC tournament. He was there in a Norfolk shirt. And he was. Now, first round, I saw it. But that's it. That's it.
I don't get it.
That's it. I got to give credit where it's due. But again, man, see, here's the thing. And remember, I gave you this example. You're in the building. You know you about to take a photo. Hold on one second. Let me put the t-shirt on. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I tend to be I tend to be a little bit more lenient, and I understand it, because he could have probably just got there, right? I'm watch this. I'm gonna give a mulligan on that, right? May have just gotten there, but guess what? I'm about to take a photo. Let me throw this shirt on right quick, because guess what? If you're in the building, you should have in your office, you should have tons of shirts, hats, and everything else, right? I know this, right? Hey man, about to take a photo. Let me. Somebody should have pissed the shit out of me, right? But Yeah, man. This is the thing when we talk about, again, not getting it. And I'm sorry, like I don't want to speak to the whole thing about. I know some people say, well, he's inexperienced. He hasn't been, man. He's been around football since he was a Pee Wee ball. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. You had a coach. One thing you know about your coach, hell, dog. Look, I ain't on nobody's field. I got a damn Jack State hat on. I have every time you see me, I got a hat on, right? It's Jack State hat every time. Every time, all day long. Like, come on, he knows better. There is no excuse. I mean, it's being tone deaf. And again, if the assistant coach got all gear to build it, come on, man.
Dog, he's not even an assistant coach. That's not he does not work on staff. He isn't an advisor. He's like a friend/advisor to Vick, right? The person that posted this, his name is CJ Riemann, the guy in the green. He's like an advisor or friend of Vick or whatever, but he's not on the staff. And then the Bama next to him, he got on more gear. I think he a fan of Delaware State.
Wow.
And he just sandwiched in between. Dog, he looked like an uncle off the street. Like, you would not think he coaches anything. And people are saying, like, Scotty, why are you going so hard? To me, it's the lack of respect for the program. That's all I'm saying. Guys, Vick could be the best coach ever. But again, y'all, and this is what kills me about black people. We want to pick and choose. We always know we got to dress the part to even get the opportunity. Hey, we can't come into a situation looking like Michael Vick and be, nobody else could do this other than Michael Vick.
Hey, how you do anything is how you do everything. Point blank, period. And if you're going to be this lackluster or this lackadaisical, you know what I'm saying, with this, it's going to bleed into other stuff too. I promise you it will. It will.
It's sad to me. It's really sad because you would think a homegrown kid that is able to come back to the 757 would be repping 757. I mean, like, for me, I'm a Marylander, right? Like, I love the DMV. I love the flag. I love everything about it. If Mike Locksley made me an assistant of anything at the University of Maryland, I would feel like, oh my God, right? Like if Willie Simmons was still at FAM and he was like, hey, Scotty, I'm gonna make you a consultant or analyst. Do you know how much? I already got a lot of FAMU gear as it is. Do you know how much FAMU stuff I would be wearing all the time? You get what I'm saying? Like, it's a pride factor that I'm just not seeing from Vick. And people are coming at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, there's no way you can show up at your job as the VP of marketing looking any type of way. So why is Vick coming to his job looking any type of way when all his coaches probably got Norfolk State gear on?
I tell you what, we finna make an example. I want you to do a share screen, go on IG and go to Deshaun Jackson page. I'm serious. And just go to his most recent photo. If he on that thing, if he on the photo of himself, I guarantee you he gonna have some Delaware State gear on.
Dog, you would not believe he just popped up on my stream, bro. He literally, I swear to God, on everything I love, Zo. The first thing on my, that's the first thing that popped up.
Look at the sweater. Look at the sweater. Look at the sweater. The algorithm be algorithming.
Oh, I swear to God, so I typed in Instagram. This was the first thing that popped up.
Well, hold on. Where he at? Where's he at?
In the building.
What's on his chest?
Delaware State.
See what I'm saying, man? See what I'm saying? Look, if you see him, Delaware. All you got to do is scroll, dog.
Oh, and they just got this new machine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you saw that?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, man, like all you see is Delaware State.
Delaware State. It's everywhere. It's everywhere.
And to prove a point, if you go back to that photo with Vick on it, you know one thing, you know what constant thing you see with Vick whenever you see him in the photo?
Don't look happy.
That same ATL hat.
dog, or a Fox hat.
Same ATL hat all day long.
All right, now look. Let's just look at the different. Let me see. You got this.
Hold on, and see that photo right there? That's the first round of the MEAC game. I told you had a hat on.
Yeah.
I said I saw it one time. I did. I saw it.
So you got that. You got the interview with the white tee. All right.
You ain't gonna see nothing else. You won't see anything else up to the press conference.
Oh, is that a Virginia Tech? I bet not be a Virginia. This is 1 week ago.
You won't see anything. That's his 7. You won't see anything with Norfolk State for the press conference. That's it. Everything else will be from the press conference. Literally from the press conference.
Another interview. No Norfolk State gear on.
It'll be the press conference. I told you. It'll be the press conference. I'm telling you.
This is crazy. Nothing.
So what makes this bad is if you didn't keep up with football related stuff, right? I'm just keeping it a buck, and you did not know that Michael Vick was the head coach of Norfolk State. If you take the press conference footage off, you still would not know that he's Norfolk State's head coach. That's fact.
That's sad. And again, people think I'll be the bad guy.
That's fact. And honestly, it's not even trying to look forward. It's just, now granted, I'm a Virgo, so we're detail oriented people. I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, right? But if I'm on my phone, I'm scrolling through, I was like, if I didn't heard anything, I'm like, I wouldn't think that he's coaching anywhere. If you remove the press conference photo, you would not be reflective on his page that he's Delaware State. But watch this. Again, if same thing happened, if you take the press conference off, Deshaun Jackson IG, I may not know he's the head coach, but I know he's coaching over there.
You doing something. You doing something. Yeah.
It's so tantamount. It says a lot. And even that picture, his avatar, that's the press conference.
That's the press conference. Yep.
That was done press conference day. That's literally, you don't see anything that shows that I'm the head coach. You don't.
And again, but hey, what do I know? I'm the bad guy. I just said I'm the bad guy. You know, I'm the bad guy. That's crazy to me. Because I just think it's an easy fix. It's really an easy fix. I just take gear everywhere I go. I wear a Norfolk State hat. I wear a Norfolk State shirt. I wear Norfolk State socks. I mean, goddamn. He said Michael Vick's profile says head coach of NSU. Doesn't even say Norfolk State.
Hey, that's a point too.
How hard is it to throw up an NSU zip-up fleece? It is what it is, man. Listen, I'm telling you, it's one of those things. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like, every time you're looking for Michael Vick, you be like, damn, he don't got no gear on. People was texting me like, oh, Scotty, you see he got a hat on. You see he got gear on. I'm like, but again, you can't trick me. You can't slick a can of oil. I know the game.
Wait a minute. Somebody said stop expecting COVID. No. Dude, please don't do this to yourself. We're not expecting Coach Prime from Coach Vick. We're expecting head coach to be a head coach visibly, is what we're saying. Coach Prime is not the only every head coach. Watch this. Hold on. Watch this. Scotty,
I'm about to pull up Willie Simmons right now.
I'll do one better. After you do Willie Simmons, do Willie Simmons, but after you do him, we're gonna make it fair. Just pick any random head coach. Any random head. It ain't gotta be an HBCU coach. It could be any random head coach.
I'm gonna do Fran Brown.
And go to the page, and you'll see them in terms of their school's gear.
This is Fran Brown.
Where is he? Oh, look at. Wow. Syracuse, right? Oh, no. But see, somebody will say, because you know how we do. Oh, he's at a Power 4 school. Do Teddy Keaton. D2 school, Clark, right? So I can just pick a name. Because they're gonna, I'm telling you, somebody gonna say, that's a powerful Teddy Key. You got some reels on there.
Interview right here.
Clark, Atlanta.
Clark, Atlanta. Got the red tie on right here. Got a bunch of signees.
Go back at signing day. Go before signing day. You're gonna see Clark. He gonna have his Clark hat on or a Clark shirt on at all times. It's not sitting here expecting to be prime. Prime be the standard.
Willie Simmons, new guy on the scene. Let's see what we got. Panthers right here when he went to the throw out the first pitch. FIU in his workout gear. FIU right here. FIU on the pendant. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
FIU every day.
Very simple. Very, very simple. So, and again, the first thing that popped up, Deshaun Jackson repping. It is what it is. He said, listen, D2 coaches be geared up. Geared up. To me, it's just a bad listen. And you can say whatever you want about Odoms. I got a whole sound drop of him being involved in Norfolk State. Now, it didn't come with wins. It didn't come with the aspirations that people wanted. But again, it's the excitement. It's the love for the program. It's when you listen.
Scott,
man,
it's more than that. Let me tell you, it's love for the program, but for the people who don't get it, you don't get it. It's visible. Number one, it's branding, it's marketing, it's everything to your program. When you're in all this gear, if they know Vick, because here's the thing, Michael Vick is a popular name, right?
Yeah. I'm
gonna use Prime, right? Prime's a great marketer, right? It's Deion Sanders, but when Deion Sanders is in JSU gear all up and down, they're gonna say Deion Sanders and Jackson State.
Yeah.
Everything about him when he's there says Jackson State. So everything that Michael Vick does is going to say Norfolk State. Everything. And then guess what? Even if he wasn't a famous player, right? When you go out into the community, you go to the grocery store, oh, that's the head coach of Norfolk State.
Yeah.
When you go to schools, oh, that's Norfolk State here at our school. You're Norfolk State everywhere you go, but you aren't when you ain't in it. Because again, not everybody watch sports. I'll have you guys know. Not everybody watch sports. Not everybody in sports. Some people don't know who Michael Vick is. So when he goes to a grocery store, some people might say, oh, it's Michael Vick, but not everybody knows that he's the head coach of Norfolk State either.
That's facts.
So, but when he goes, trust me, somebody who don't know, if they see him, he got a whole bunch of Norfolk State on. Hey, what are you doing? You work there? Oh, what are you doing in Norfolk State? Oh, I'm the head coach. Like, you need that. It's branding for the program wherever you are. Oh, I said, if you don't get it, you don't get it. And it matters, bro. It matters.
Especially when you have a following of 1.7 million people. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people,
eyes on Norfolk State.
Oh, you know what I'm saying? Like, nobody, I remember, like, and again, nobody's comparing him to Prom. But I remember the first couple of videos that Prom dropped on Instagram. It went bananas.
Hold on. Somebody said it, but the show happened. Stop right now. Go to Deion Sanders' page on IG, I believe it was.
I think he got me blocked, but I'm gonna try it.
This is go Reach the People Media. It's one of them, because let me tell you why. Because this joker was going to he was in Mexico with Colorado gear on. So you see what I'm saying? I'm like, at some point, man, you gotta get it. You got to have it on wherever you go, because it's recruiting, it's branding, it's marketing, it's in everything you do.
Yeah, he got me blocked. I can't go there.
Look, he was in Mexico. He was in Mexico with full of Colorado gear. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And guess what? Deion Sanders really don't have to do it, because he's more of a lightning rod than Michael Vick, but yet he still does it because he gets it. He gets it. He gets it.
Oh yeah, I'm blocked. I've been blocked for a good little minute. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is.
So that's the thing that we're talking about. Like, come on, bro, you gotta move different. You gotta move different.
That's facts.
And look, and for anybody in Virginia who wanna, you know what I'm saying, get defensive about it, man, look, don't fight the messenger, baby. Hey, the proof is in the pudding. It's facts. You can got your feelings. You know, and I'm not even trying to be adversarial. My thing is straight up. You know better, you do better. Come on.
If you know better, wrong buttons. You do better. If I knew better, I'd do better. It's very simple. Very simple. But you know, hey, to each his own. Let's keep it pushing. Listen, dog. Oh, wrong one. The MEAC is in shambles. Listen. Now, shout out to Erica from HBCU Nightly. She posted this on Twitter, I think, like right after the tournament. And she said, if I'm Howard University, I would demand the MEAC Sports move this tournament out of Norfolk, or else we would leave the conference. We have options. They don't. We do not need to stay. If they had schools to add to keep this conference solvent, they would have done so by now.
Oh, goddamn.
Listen, tell me how you really feel. I love this. I love this tweet by.
Now, I'm gonna say something about this tweet. Now, I can see both. I can see where she's coming from, but I'm gonna be honest now, Scotty. If any or all schools took that mentality, that's a slippery slope. And I'm gonna tell you why. I don't know if you remember how Texas was when they was in the Big 12, right? Because remember, as a conference, you're strong as your weakest link. You're only as strong as your weakest link, right? So if schools really took that mentality in the structure of a conference, man, that'd be a real dangerous slippery slope, because people are gonna be trying to play the cards like, well, I pull my weight in this conference, or I run the conference. Y'all really don't. You see what I'm saying? No. But that could lead to some bad things happening from a singular point. Because okay, so basically what she's saying is, basically she should go ahead and just Howard should leave, and then the MEAC should just fold, and then because my thing is, what would Howard go? And if they go somewhere, would they really benefit from being something?
Okay, first of all, Howard would have a plethora of conferences to jump into. That's just number one. I mean, it's Howard. I mean, come on, man. It's Howard. Like,
no. But here's the thing. They can go to another conference, but would they benefit from being in that conference?
Do they benefit of being in the MEAC?
I can't. Maybe, but maybe not. But what I'm saying is, would they be better off if they went to another conference?
I wouldn't be I wouldn't be mad if they went to the Ivy League. I think that would be a perfect fit for them. If they went to the Ivy Leagues, I wouldn't be mad at that. Not at all.
I don't see that happening.
I'm just saying, it wouldn't be a bad fit. It wouldn't be a bad fit.
I don't see it.
I don't think it'd be a bad fit, right? But let me say this, though. I think if you have the weight, you pull it. You pull it. Like, it's no different than what Texas did to the Big 12 in getting the Longhorn Network. If you got it,
yeah, but here's the thing. But see, my point is, they got it and they ruined them. Because where's the Longhorn Network now?
Yeah, but they still were the big dogs, and they did what they wanted to do, and that was for them. They felt they needed that for themselves.
Okay.
And then again, the opportunity came for them to go to the SEC, and they pivoted and moved to the SEC. I would like the CAA.
No, but my point is, they moved to the SEC. Where's the Longhorn Network?
Oh, it's gone now. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But again, that's not what the point I'm trying to make. So is that if you have the leverage, right, then you use it.
Well, no, I'm not against using leverage. What I'm saying is, when you have the mindset of basically trying to force a conference to do something because you feel a certain kind of way in spite of everybody else, that's more like, I should be an independent. You see what I'm saying? And because when you're talking about, and let me say this, I think it's a different set of parameters in what I'm talking about, because I think this conversation will be different. And I think her tweet wouldn't have been the same either if the MEAC had 10 teams in it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's almost like, because she basically is coming from a point of, if anybody leaves the MEAC right now, the conference folds.
It's done. It's done.
That's what I mean when I say that.
Again, I'm going to keep saying this. If you have the leverage, use it. And Howard has the leverage. You know, they from what I'm reading in the chat, they got a CAA invite that still stands. So they could go to the CAA if that's what they wanted to. Wouldn't be surprised if they went to the Big South or NEC or whatever Howard decides to do, they have takers, right? They're the girl that has options. You know what I'm saying? They now out here dry. Now the rest of the places that they talk, the rest of the schools, that's a tough one. Yeah, ooh, I don't know where you're gonna go. But at the end of the day, if I'm Howard, I'm gonna use my leverage to my benefit. And again, she's right. If they wanted to add schools, they would have already added schools. And what they're trying to do doesn't make any sense. You're trying to bring schools that cannot afford to come up to just be like, hey, we just here because we say we want to be D1. When every other school is trying to figure out a way not to be D1. So they don't have to pay all the extra money, right? So it's a very fine line. And I think for what it is going on currently for the MEAC, you're going to have to do something different. And I don't have a problem with them moving it. Like, people making a big deal. It's Norfolk. Like, what? Like, what the? This ain't Atlanta. It's Norfolk. Like, it shouldn't be hard to move it from Norfolk. And why not partner with a Charlotte? Why not partner with who just lost the CIAA tournament?
I was just about to say that. Why didn't the moment the CIAA left to go to Baltimore, then they move in this place?
Listen, I'd be talking to Charlotte right now. Hey, listen. Hey, big head.
Hey, big head.
Hey, big head. You dropped the ball. You dropped the ball on your ex-girl. Come holler at your next girl, right? Like, come holler at me. Because I feel like they already know the procedure. They've been there, done that. Charlotte's not a bad place to go. You know what I'm saying? So why not move it there? I don't think Erica cared if it was in DC or wherever. It's just like, get it out of Norfolk.
Yeah.
It's not easy getting to Norfolk. It's not.
Well, I think I think it's a whole thing. The conference offices, headquarters are in Norfolk, right?
They are.
So they're being lazy with it.
And something that Erica said on HBCU Nightly last night, she said the CIAA tournament gets the stadium for free.
I got a question. I got a question for all my MEAC heads. Is it a thing where the city of Norfolk is doing things where they're probably getting the tournament pretty much free or something like that? The arena free or something like that?
Probably.
And I'm thinking that's probably what it is. They're gonna have to do something about that then. No, because here's the problem, and I'm gonna be brief. Here's the thing I always get to. They got to understand that, and it's what I mentioned about A&T. What I mentioned even more so about Tennessee State, right? It's a business, right? Athletics are a business. Who is your consumer? Who's your consumer? Your alums and your students. They're the consumer. The consumer dictates what needs to happen because they're the ones who's financing the product. They're the ones who's buying tickets, and they're the ones who are in attendance. Because again, if they get that tournament, let's say it's in Charlotte, let's say they get 8,000, 9,000 people there, right? Well, it's telling you, the consumers are telling you where they want it at. Because where it's successful, they're basically telling you what it's going to be. So you can't always worry about, well, we get this thing because they think about overhead and no risk it, no biscuit. You got to take a risk in life. And sometimes you're going to have to, hey, we're going to increase our overhead, i.e. spending more money to get a bigger return. You can't play it safe. And what I told you a while back, what everybody in life want guarantees. They want to move with some type of guarantees, and there are no guarantees. No risk it, no biscuit. And again, your consumers are telling you, even her putting this tweet out here, more people in the comments are basically telling you, we don't want it there. We're not coming. Building they will come. Get it somewhere attractive. So you're more well known with it. Hey, would DC work? What other place would we suggest? Would DC work for the MEAC tournament? We know Charlotte will because it's kind of like in the heart of it. But what other options could we have outside of it? Charlotte, DC, and where else?
You could have it. I mean, Maryland and Virginia. I mean, you could have it in either one of those states. Maryland is a very basketball-friendly city. I don't think you could do it in Baltimore because you got the CIAA tournament there. I would try to look somewhere in Virginia, like Richmond. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know, maybe the metropolitan
what's the
area.
biggest city in Virginia?
I would say
populous.
If it's not Richmond, it would probably be the metropolitan area of Virginia, like that Tyson's Corner and Arlington and all that up in that area.
Okay.
Because that's usually where a lot of government people live who come into DC and drive out. It was already in Richmond. It was trash. It was in Richmond. It was a flop, and they closed the arena.
Okay.
Listen, I like Charlotte. I think it makes sense because you've seen the success. Oh, Virginia Beach wouldn't be bad.
Hold on. So I got another question in. So all my people in the MEAC, just a question. What does is Greensboro sound crazy? Because I remember the reason why I asked, because if I remember serving this correctly, didn't the ACC tournament used to be in Greensboro?
I couldn't tell you.
All my MEAC people that y'all know, especially my people in North Carolina, if you tune in, didn't the ACC tournament used to be in Greensboro? Would that be a good option? Somebody said Raleigh, Charlotte, and DC.
DC's a tough. DC's tough because it's very tight, and it's not a very parkable. You know what I'm saying? Like if you don't know DC, you ain't trying to be like. That's why I think Baltimore's a great fit. Baltimore's a great fit because it's parkable, it's drivable, and it's not crazy enough to where you feel like, damn, like why am I here? DC, it will make you be like, hell no, I don't want to drive back up here.
I was just about to say that. What about Philly?
I'm not mad at Philly. I'm not mad at Philly. It depends on what part of Philly you're talking about, because them old school Philadelphia streets, man, they get real tight. You know what I'm saying? I think I would give Charlotte a run. I would really give Charlotte a run for money. It's very travelable. Is that even a word? Hotels galore. It's not super expensive. You know what I'm saying? Like
easy to get to, basically.
You know what I'm saying? It's really, and again, they know the drill. And then to me, I think they'll give you a better rate than they gave the CIAA because they don't want to lose you, right? They're like, hey, we need that, or we need that travel. We need those things, because I don't think I think Charlotte will like you enough to do you well, but they treat you well, but they won't do you like Baltimore's doing the CIAA. Baltimore rolled out the red carpet for the CIAA because Baltimore is if anybody has been to Baltimore, it is the harbor, third world country. Baltimore, it's weird. It's a weird setup. Like it's like harbor, the hood, the nice part, right? So it's like they need that city. They need something to bring in that revenue inside the harbor, inside the city to really make it go, right? So, you know, for me, I would prefer Charlotte. And let me say this: I like what the SWAC did, taking the tournament from Birmingham to Atlanta. And to me, I think they should have kept the baseball tournament in Atlanta as well. We'll see how that goes. But I really like the tournament when it was at Georgia Tech. I thought that was beautiful. But you bring it to a smaller environment, you condense it. Atlanta is an HBCU hub, so people understand it. They're going to go support it when they can. You got a lot of alums and a lot of chapters out there. So it's going to be well attended because of and Charlotte's the same way. Charlotte is like a little HBCU hub, you know, North Carolina and all that type of stuff.
Well, I was going to ask you a question first, but I'm going to give a statement. I think the SWAC did the right thing by putting it in Atlanta and choosing the arena that it has. You know why? Because if it grows, the arena only holds 3,500 people. But let's say you get a sellout maybe 2 years in a row.
Looks good.
Then you watch it, but you can transition from that to a bigger arena in Atlanta. You can go to the Hawks Arena, you know, State Farm Arena, or you can go to Georgia Tech's arena. So you have different options to grow it if it grows. Now, my question is, do you think that with this Charlotte maybe wanting to bid again for the CIAA, that you could possibly treat on the basketball stand front, having both the CIAA and the MEAC tournaments in Charlotte and treat it almost like a basketball field of Celebration Bowl? What I mean by that is having, because, you know, Celebration Bowl kind of feel like a HBCU weekend for football. You know what I mean? Yeah. You can have that same feel for basketball, but it being in Charlotte, knowing that both of those conferences, even from a traditional sense, were more known for basketball. than football.
I wouldn't. Listen, you talking about the CIAA coming back to Charlotte?
Yeah, but I'm saying having both of them. Both of them.
If I'm the CIAA, I'm never leaving Maryland. I'm never leaving Baltimore. They love that tournament. It's not Baltimore. Listen, Baltimore is like the dude who's like, I ain't never letting this girl go. She's just too good to me. Like how I feel about my wife. Like I'm like, damn.
I'm about to tell you, I can speak to that.
You know what I'm saying? You've dated some crazy chicks, and you like,
I got a good one now. You like,
I ain't letting her ass go.
And
that's how Baltimore. That's how Baltimore is looking at the CIAA tournament. They're like, you ain't going nowhere. What you need? You need steak and lobster. I can do it right here. I can cook it up right here. That's how Baltimore loves the CIAA tournament, and it's been received so well in the area. That ain't ever happening unless the CIAA just says, "Hey, we leaving." You know what I'm saying? We're doing something different, but it won't be because Baltimore doesn't want them.
That should give Charlotte even more credence, and that actually kind of gives the MEAC some leverage in getting there.
We'll see. I mean, again, and somebody just said it. Josh and the BCIC is doing their tournament in Charlotte, and that could show you what it could look like outside of,
That's what I was saying, because if the buzz is there, because look, the CIAA it does numbers, you know what I'm saying, attendance wise, like it was a damn big thing, right? I think, I could be wrong, but it just, to me, on the looking at it, right, to me, it just has a look and a feel, and I think Charlotte could actually support both. You know what I'm saying? I think so. That's what I'm saying. It could be like a basketball version of the Celebration Bowl in a sense, with the buzz, and because again, that's more of a basketball friendly part of the country, regional wise too. You know what I'm saying? Up the eastern seaboard.
Yeah.
And so I think that Charlotte would be more apropos to really get into it and support both of them.
I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, but if I'm CIAA, Charlotte, listen. You know how a girl do you when you did it wrong? Like my wife, she's restitution, right? So she gonna need her restitution. Like you gonna have to cut off an arm and a leg to show me how bad you want me, right? And that's what the CIAA.
I'm like, don't you got kilo of skin? Why you want to cut yourself?
You know what I'm saying? So that's where the CIAA is with Charlotte. I don't have to come back. I'm good. I got me a new man, right? Charlotte over there acting like Drake Marvin's room. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? He not around. That's why you picked up. You know what I'm saying? Come, son of XO. All my people been here. You know what I'm saying? Fuck that nigga that you think you found. I know you still think about the times we had. Like that's really what Charlotte is, and it's a sad place to be. It's a really, really sad place to be. A few weeks in his 8th grade, he is nearing 6 feet and wears size 13. I'm having a bitch in a max of 225. Woo, Jesus, 225 already at 14. That's tough. He's 6 feet and where? Okay, so this is the tough thing. One, I don't know his foot speed, right? Because like if he's slow footed, your son's. If he's slow footed, then you need to start working with him at like D tackle, DN. Or working his foot speed up, right? 6 feet. So these are the positions that you need to be thinking of: linebacker, wide receiver. What else? It depends on his foot speed, though, right? So you gotta work on his foot speed. So you need to be doing a lot of agility, a lot of ladder, a lot of sprints, a lot of running. He needs to, like, just because he's big and bulky doesn't make him a great player, because I've seen big guys that really can't do anything, right? So it's just. It all depends on what he wants to do and what you see him doing. Like, because like for me and my son, like I know my son's probably gonna be about 5'11", 6 foot, right? So it's like, okay, I want him playing slot, corner, you know what I'm saying? Things that fit that measurable, you know what I'm saying? He's gonna be the slender build, right? Real quick, slender guy. And I know that. So a lot of agility, a lot of ankle mobility, just little things like that. So you just gotta figure out what he has to do in that.
I'll tell you what, if he like that right now, I suggest you get a second job to feed that joke. God dog. Man, woo! May got size 13 already. I'm a size 14 for this. God dog, man.
Yeah.
God damn.
That's tough. That is.
No, but for real, Scott hit on the head though, man. If you actually gonna be in a football, it's kind of hard to say because I'm gonna be honest, you can't just go by weight and shoe size because there's other things like
coordination.
Well, outside of agility too, but it comes to body type. You know what I'm saying? Is he long leg, short back, or he's a long back or short head? No, I'm serious.
I know. They just funny. Long leg, short back,
long leg, or even body. You know what I'm saying? Does he have long arms? It's a lot of different parts of that, right? Seriously. And then also too, like what does he favor more? Is it more basketball, football, or hell, even baseball? Because I saw, man, he got to be strong. He's shot putting, man. Only man. It's right now. If you go on football, just going sight unseen. I'm telling you right now, D-line. We thinking long-term money. D-line.
Yeah. Guard, D-line. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Like you said, long arms. If you got long arms, yeah, definitely some D linemen. That'd be beastie. All right, listen. Part 2, MEAC in Shambles. Breaking news, literally just dropped maybe like an hour before we came on the show. BU Gamers has filed a lawsuit against the MEAC for breach of contract, false accusations of bribery, unpaid prize money owed to HBCU students, and unauthorized use of my business and branding. Yikes. 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 Listen, so y'all could have asked me, I would have called it. Oh, you can call in. Hey, listen. Hey, you ain't said nothing but a thing. Let me open these call lines up. Okay, listen. You ain't said nothing but a thing. Go ahead and call in 518-263-8124. 51, and you can explain it, break it down to the people who are watching this at any given time. Please call in. You ain't said nothing but a word.
You are the only participant in the conference. All participants are muted.
So while we'll wait for is it Zariah? Yeah, we'll wait for Zariah to get outside. But just off of the initial reports, what you got on it, Zo?
Nothing. You better say you about to go outside real quick. I don't know what part of the country you in. It's springtime coming up. Don't let the mosquitoes tear you up trying to talk about be on the phone.
Listen, let the mosquitoes bite you up. Please give us the tea. You know what I'm saying? Please give us.
No, I got. When I saw this, I got questions. Right? There's a lot to this. I got a lot of questions though. For real. Again, because there's a new thing. I know that even the SWAC actually has a thing with gaming as well. And different HBCUs as a whole, right? So I got questions because there's a lot to this, right? Because the EA Sports, you know what I'm saying, or the what do they call it?
Esports.
Esports. I said EA Sports. Show my age. Esports, right?
All right, here's Zariah. 9328 coming to you. Hey, calling you live.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we sure can. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you? I'm a little nervous. I'm sorry. I just didn't think nobody would see this that fast. So.
Hey, listen.
We see everything.
Hey, listen. When you drop that MEAC and Bama start retweeting that thing, listen, HBCU streets, it get around quick. Did you hear me? It gets around quick now. Miss Zariah, this is your company, BU Gamers. I saw I initially took a photo of the actual lawsuit that you posted on your page as well. Just give us some details of what you can. I know you can't go into, it is a lawsuit, but tell us what you can talk about.
Yeah, so it's just a basic lawsuit for my breach of contract. Students were not paid for the 2 tournaments that I hosted. Well, one of them I hosted in 22, and the other one was hosted last year after MEAC decided to break my contract and just get rid of me. So the students did not get their winnings. So that's what we're going for. We just want accountability. That's the main point, is accountability.
And these tournaments, were they Madden tournaments, NBA 2K tournaments? What kind of tournaments did you put on for the MEAC?
So it was tournaments based on esports, of course, with our different seasons. So we did different games like Smash Brothers, Mario Kart, Valorant, Overwatch. I basically ran that entire league for 4 years. The 22 MEAC championship, I did that entire in-person tournament. I also did the season leading up to that, and it was supposed to be the same thing for 23 as well, but stuff happened. So we're just trying to get the money recuperated from that. My logo was branded everywhere. There was a Call of Duty tournament that was done without permission. There was a lot of things that were done not right. So again, ability.
And so you mentioned tournament and you mentioned the winnings. Were there like some type of tier thing, or was it just, hey, whoever wins the tournament wins X amount of dollars? Or was it a thing where it's, hey, you have a first place earnings, second place earnings, third place earnings, or were you told within this contract how you want to answer this, or if you can without ruining anything, or were you given like in the contract, like were you given a pool or a set amount of money from the MEAC to your tournament?
So basically how it was done was that MEAC was the one providing the prize pool to the students. So I would basically take that pot of money and split it between the games depending on how the game is played. So, first through third for Smash Brothers, first through third for Mario Kart. I'm just kind of giving examples, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe for team games, it would be a first through third, but it would be split between, 4 people for Call of Duty, right? So those things are announced at the beginning of every season. And when the time came, some people got paid, some people didn't. And when I kept trying to check up on it for the first 2022 championship, people just did not get it. When it came to the 23, nobody got anything.
Wow.
Nobody got anything from that entire season, nothing.
So question, because you stated that you had the 2022 tournament and some people got paid and some didn't. And so going into 2023, knowing that some didn't, was there any steps taken to where you would say possibly or trying to have an agreement, or did you get an agreement from someone that you would have the earnings before the tournament started, or were you told something contractually or verbally, however, that you were like, oh, you would have the tournament, you would get it after the fact? Like trying to get an idea, because if 2023 was so a stark contrast as to some got paid, some did 2022, and then hearing that nothing happened in 2023, then I'm almost certain, like, at what point in time did you file the lawsuit? Because I wouldn't, I wouldn't even go into 2025 knowing that 2022 went the way it did, and then 2023.
So that was a loaded question. So when the winnings didn't get paid out fully for 2022, I was already asking the question to me like, hey, what's going on? I was checking constantly. I have email threads, I have phone calls, I have everything, And we had started working on it, but then it just kind of derailed off, right? So when 2023 came around and I was asking for a second contract to do the in-person tournament, I didn't get that. I decided to decline it due to time constraints. Basically, they wanted me to pull off a tournament in 2 weeks, which was impossible. And so when 2023 happened and some students decided to play, some didn't due to being owed money from the 2022. I guess MEAC was just like, we're just not going to pay them at all. I never had the money. It was all MEAC that had that. That was not part of my contract. So it was all on them to make sure that was paid out to the students. I was just kind of like, I guess, like the middleman, I guess you could say. Just to make sure that, students were aware of what was happening and where it was coming from, if that makes sense.
No problem. Two-part question. Who was your point of contact? Like, who were you mostly in contact with when you were dealing with the money issues? And then the second part is, what are you looking to get from this? Like, because somebody has a civil lawsuit or whatever, they say, hey, I want this amount in damages, or what are you seeking in damages?
So my go-to person when I first started was Cecily. She's no longer with the company, so then it changed to Oheen. I also did work with Commissioner Stills too at first, before she became commissioner. And then it evolved into, at the end of my time, it evolved into working with Oheen and Wyatt and Randy. So it's starting to become like a team effort thing, which was pretty cool. I enjoyed working as a team. As far as the actual lawsuit itself, I really just want the students' winnings that they should have gotten from 2022 and 2023. I want the rest of my contract to be paid out because my contract was never breached on my end. It was breached on theirs. They tried to basically take what I was offering and wanting more for the same price, when deep down they knew that they were not going to get that. We had a general service contract. If they wanted an in-person tournament, they had to sign a second one like they did in 2022. We got to 2023, they didn't sign that. And because I didn't complete the tournament, that's why this happened. So I want to be paid out for all my time that I missed, and then some, because, I basically ran that work for 4 years. To be quite honest with you, for me, the money isn't the biggest problem for me personally. It's just about accountability. When you're working with small Black businesses, and you have a contract, you should follow that contract, especially when I have a passion for this, so as long as you follow your contract and you hold yourself accountable, we're good on my end, right? The money isn't the biggest thing. I took a pay cut for working for these people, so that money is not an issue for me. I just want them to be held accountable, and I want them to understand that you can't just push people around like that. It's not cool at all, especially when it comes to the students, because now the students are suffering. That's who's suffering the most, the students. I've went on with my life.
Question for you. So after 2022, going into 2023, were there any form of advertising publicly in regards to this tournament and the earnings as well?
Absolutely.
Wow.
They did their own, I think they did their own, media press push that they were doing at the time. I think I promoted a couple of things, because I was, again, I ran the whole esports side, so I would send in things to be pushed out. But yeah, prize pool, the tournament happening was all pushed out. It was wrong when it got pushed out, but it was pushed out.
And the advertising, was it solely from just the MEAC, or was it a thing where the individual schools were advertising it, or both?
No, it was solely from the MEAC.
Okay.
Everything that had something to do with esports, it was either I made it and pushed it out, or MEAC made it and pushed it out.
Wow. Man, Miss Zoraya, listen, I appreciate the call. Listen, if there's any updates or anything like that, you are more than welcome. I think I follow you on Twitter, so you can DM me Offscript TV. And if you want to come back on at any time to talk about, what has transpired, or if anything upcoming and new happens, we are more than welcome to get your message out and across to the people. Because listen, if anybody don't know me, I love some accountability. Okay, they call me the accountability police, baby. So I love it. So I feel you when you talk about accountability. That is right up my alley. So, but I wish you nothing but the best, and I hope everything works out well for you as well as the students.
Thank you so much. By the way, it's Zara, for anyone that wants to know how to pronounce it. Zara, that's my name. Please keep up with me. I'm on Twitter, I'm on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, I'm everywhere. So yeah, I will definitely keep in touch.
Thank you so much. Appreciate the call.
No problem. You have a good night.
You too.
I'll say it to you.
Hey, listen, hold on, let me take this other call. This is my guy. He does gaming tournaments as well. Q, long time no talk to, my guy.
Hey, what's good, my guy? Hey, man, just to follow up on what was talked about. That young lady, she hit the nail on the head. The biggest thing is, so what it is right now, these conferences and also these schools, they're trying to get into this esports, and they don't know what esports is. So what they do is, just like when Sanja, when she got on her live and talked about, I played the esports games, and, doesn't know anything about playing a game, but she's trying to sound cool.
Yeah.
So instead of hey, doing the research and doing what you need to do to make sure it's run right, they contract a young hungry young lady like Zarai, or think of it as a club promoter / club relationship. So I don't know her, but I'm pretty sure she has a following, she has a reputation, and she has a lot of she brings a lot to the table when it comes to esports. And MEAC, they're a conference. They do sports. Now, when she brings this to the table and they don't pay, that ruins her credibility for her future events that she put on. I've had dealings with Microsoft where they didn't pay until 6 months when I ran the Killer Instinct World Cup, and that is we're talking about Microsoft, and it almost had to get to the point where I had to sue them, but eventually that's the case. She just wants her credibility. Also, going back to what we're talking about, well, the shift focus, talked about where the previous subject. Talked about the help me out here.
Oh, you talking about the MEAC moving? Yeah, moving the conference.
Yes, Howard. So basically, Howard holding the. So I do esports, but now I am full-time coach. So I shift focus. The biggest thing is, man, you take a look at what Howard has done. They're doing the same thing that Texas did to the Big 12. Yes, you stayed, but at the end of the day, you gave the MEAC time. And if I was take a look at other universities that are priming themselves to be in the position to move up from D2 to B1, I would look at Virginia State. They've done all of the things that they need to do. They added additional sports to get them up to the sports that need to be for Division One. As long as their financials are clear, I'm gonna be honest with you. I would tell Howard to go kick rocks.
What?
But that's all, man.
All right, Q. Appreciate the call. It's no way that you're telling me I'm taking Virginia State and telling Howard to kick rocks. That's what we doing. We telling Howard to kick rocks for Virginia State. Everything's going to hell in the handbasket.
Well, the only way that actually is done is if Howard leaves and you still got a thing to get Virginia Tech in so you can stay viable at the conference. To be honest, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're going to keep it a buck. That's the only reason why, you know what I'm saying? Because you want to stay viable. But at that point, is it viable because one of your charter members left?
Yeah.
You know, and pretty much, which, let's keep it a buck, Howard is the anchor in that conference now. No matter how anybody feels about it. Look, South Carolina State is the football power within that conference, right? Has the most conference titles, yada, yada, yada. But Howard is the anchor.
That name recognition, that Howard name goes a long way.
It's the anchor in that conference.
Yeah.
Because I'll look, watch this. Let's say Virginia State was in the MEAC right now. And just for an example, let's say they're in there right now. So now they're at 7 teams. Let's add another one. Let's say.
Well, they'll technically be at 9.
No, not about football.
Okay.
Football members.
There's 7. Yeah.
I know it's 8 members now, but let's say they add Virginia State because they'll be playing football. And then let's say Fayetteville State moves on. I'm just giving an example. So now you're at 8 football members in that conference. Still applies. If Howard left with those 8 schools in there, you see what I'm saying?
Still going to hell in the handbasket.
I'm trying to tell you.
That's fair. And to me, I think it's one of those, you know, it's like one of those strings that when you pull it, everything else just kind of crumbles down because it's like all the other brands are like, why are we here? Right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are we staying for? Why are we in the vicinity? And I don't think that any brand could hold up the MEAC like Howard. Again, it's not about the winning. Like you said, it's not about the winning. It's not about the athletics. It's just the prestige of Howard that is really holding up that brand at a very high level. And because it ain't Norfolk, it damn sure ain't Delaware State. You know what I'm saying? It ain't Morgan. It's really Howard, South Carolina State, and NCCU. That's just really what it is.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think if the MEAC had a clear plan with what they want to do also with the different outside commissioner, I think the MEAC still could be an attractive thing to actually have Hampton come back, possibly have A&T come back. But I know they'll say they're not because A&T wants to move FBS dreams, right? But even still, like, they can't stay where they are right now with those 6 teams. I mean, it works now, but they can only get stronger in numbers. And then those brands do certain things to grow and make them stronger, right? So again, yeah, if you get Virginia State to move up and they do some things while they're moving up, not just in football, but like, let's say other things, school-wise, other sports-wise, you can strengthen that brand, especially once you get, slingshot to that level. But, again, the MEAC will look a whole lot different right now with A&T and Hampton in it. Really, really would, But nah, dog. You ain't finna sit there and lose Howard and think you finna it ain't happening. And yes, we know we're talking about Howard. It's the name outside, but all things are encompassing because again, they're not great successfully in all those sports, right? They are in some, but in football, dog, Howard in it. But let them jokers lead that conference. I'm telling you.
Yikes! I can't wait to see it. Here we go. You know what? Result? It could be the makings of your super conference.
Man, listen, everything falls in line. Now, I'm trying to tell you. And look, with outlook, y'all can clip this now. But if things continue to change the way that they're moving in the next year or so, I promise you, the SWAC and the MEAC may be forced to. And then when it happened, everybody little ugly self gonna say, we should have been did this.
We should have been did this. Man, what took us so long? Why we ain't thinking this before?
Yeah. And I'm gonna be over here like this.
Shit, that's not what y'all said 2 years ago. Not what y'all said 2 years ago when I was bringing it up. You know what I'm saying? So it just is what it is. All right. Main topic for tonight. It's really been hitting these Twitter streets. Prime. The prime effect is back in full force. Deion Sanders is trying to let me see. Let me do this. It's better. All right. Deion Sanders is trying to face another team for Colorado spring game on ESPN2 in April. I would like to practice against someone for a few days. Then you have the spring game, and I think the public will be satisfied with that tremendously. Now, Zo, we know the push for shutting down spring games. Prime always has an effect of, thinking outside the box, being very innovative and very forward thinking, and sometimes even, against the grain. When you saw this, what were your first thoughts?
Man, I was all over the place. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I was everywhere. First thing that came to mind, I backed away from it. I was like, who else is this made for than Jackson State? I was like, who else is this made for than Jackson State? But then I'm like, nah, that's a prime predicament for some damn poach. I mean, think about it. You literally have players because you're watching players on the other team. You're gonna be watching it, and you talk about tampering. And honestly, but here's the thing: if it's an FCS school, it don't have to be tampering because naturally, I could give you here what you can't get over there, and that's lots of money. I'm serious. So literally, it's like, hey, big head, soon as spring, because watch this. What happens after the spring? We're gonna push some people in the portal, FBS and FCS. Prime known for basically living in the portal. Well, guess what, man? We played against them in the spring. Man, they got the nice little receiver over there. He look good. You look better over here in black and gold, though. I'm telling you. So again, from an FCS standpoint, I was like, I thought about it because Jackson State, Colorado, the ties are there, great storylines. I was like, nah. So naturally after that, but I still think I like it though. I like it from an FBS to FBS standpoint. Hell, I was even thinking that wouldn't be a bad idea for LCS standpoint because again,
now you're leaning into what I was thinking. I really like this idea, and I think and we're gonna dive a little deeper into it because as you see, you had some coaches reach out and stuff like this, but this is what I saw later down the line. Carl Reed says, I just talked to Deion, and he has thought this spring game idea through thoroughly. He would like to play the spring game against Belichick. Everything should follow as a professional structure, as this is what we do in the pros. I'm trying to help salvage spring games and spring football, especially since a multitude of high-profile programs have already canceled their spring games. Yep. This is genius. And go ahead.
I was going to say, I was going to get to it because Paris said something, but that's why I was saying it's a good idea because we've had a spring season before. Now, here's the thing. This is what I think about it. Let's say we'll probably have an argument in regards to who schedules who, because that's going to bring us down to another problem. And I'm going to touch on that later. But for the example, what if Jack State and FAMU said we're going to meet up for a spring game? And then guess what? We can have people, or let's say Jack State and Southern say we're going to have a spring game. Spring scrimmage against each other. Bring the boom and bring the boom box spring edition. Man, people, hold on, watch this. You can treat it like a homecoming. Have everybody out there tailgating because you ain't necessarily worried about the crowds. You're just trying to get it's another revenue stream.
Yeah.
If the people want to tailgate, man, they can come tailgate. You still might end up getting about 5 to 10,000 people in there to watch the game. It's for black folk on the HBCU side. I look at it like, man, I can get my football fix in the spring, tailgating, you know what I'm saying, whole little thing in the spring, homecoming feel. It's gonna feel like an early family reunion. And I get to talk some shit, you know what I'm saying, in the stadium for shits and giggles too, and see what we've been doing on the football standpoint. Also think it's a great way to push what we don't do, selling season tickets. You get the itch to get a jump on that too. I just think it's too many too many advantages of doing it than not doing it.
I think I run it. I run it, and you and stay with me on this though. Do you run it like a third practice? Because that's how I would run it. I would run it like a third practice, right? Like it's not a full. I don't know if I'm doing full contact.
Right? I'll tell you what. I'll meet you halfway. This is what I would do. Yeah. I would do it just like an NFL split scrimmage. Hear me out.
Okay.
I'm gonna meet you halfway. I would do a third practice, but have one live quarter.
Okay, I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because it limits the injury. Mm-hmm. It limits injury, and you know what I'm saying, and you still get the entertainment factor of it. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So, but I love this, and I think, and I honestly feel it would be better for college athletics. It would be better for college players because again, you get tired of hitting the same dudes every single day. You just do.
It really gives credence to a real spring game.
I like this.
So watch this. It gives real credence to the spring game, right? So instead of calling it the Boombox Classic, we can call it the Blue and Blue game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not a live. Literally have one live quarter, like you say, pretty much it's a third practice. But I'm telling you, it's a thing the way I see it. Make it a thing for the fans and alumni more so than the game. The game is a part of it. It's the thing to draw you in. But again, it's the boom and the human jukebox go get people there too. Again, if you can get 10,000 people to a spring game, literally because of everything around it, it's a win-win. It's a win-win.
Yeah, I think that's the question that you'll have to figure out is, are we doing you got to do it at home and home, you know what I'm saying?
You just alternate.
Yeah, you do it for a home and home, and then maybe next year you do, you don't want to take it too far because you don't want the expenses of you don't want the expenses to rack up and be like, oh, we want to do a FAMU and Prairie View. Like that shit don't even make no sense, right? You get what I'm saying?
Honestly, you know what? Bruh, just to make it all fair, in the SWAC is easy. Do your basketball pairings. That's all you gotta do. Mm-hmm. Watch this. Take Southern Prairie View, Jack State Alcorn, Southern Grambling, Alabama A&M, Alabama State, Bethune-Cookman, FAMU, Valley, Pine Bluff.
That's a little trip down. That Valley and Pine Bluff is a little trip.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
How far is that drive?
It's about 3 hours.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a little trip.
It's about 3 hours.
Yeah. So I mean. That FAMU and Bethune-Cookman, that's a trip. That's like 4 or 5 hours.
I mean, shit. Okay.
Meet in Orlando. They can meet in Orlando.
they can meet in Orlando.
You know what I'm saying? So, but I do like it.
Oh, and guess what? To your point, Valley and Pine Bluff can meet in Memphis. Tell Fred to have a spring so they hear this place.
You know, I think it works for the schools that it works for, right? Like, I wouldn't be mad at FAMU if they did a PWI, right? Because they're like, hey, we don't want to go all the way down to Bethune, but you know, Albany. Let's say they do Albany with Quinn Gray. You know what I'm saying? Let's say they do something like that with Quinn Gray.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something that's not too far. It's close. You know, it's still HBCU. It can be Clark Atlanta. Right? Like, I know you don't want to do a D2 thing, but you just want your kids to kind of get the feel for somebody else, or you could go get you a PWI program and see how that might work. But I like it. I really do. I think where Deion is going with this, I think it's a great idea for college athletics. I think you do 7-on-7s, you do a live period, you do all those little things. It's entertaining. And at the end of the day, again, Bama's is going to be tampered with regardless. It's just going to happen. That's just the nature of the beast. But I love the thought process that Deion has put behind this, and I think these are great programs to do it with, because why? They're bringing that NFL style scrimmage to college athletics.
I love the quote, man. The quote says it all. Everything should follow a professional structure, as this is what the pros do. I'm trying to help salvage spring games and spring football, especially since a multitude of high-profile programs have already canceled their spring games. So again, when you talk about doing everything like the NFL, and like I stated, they have, split squad scrimmages, all the time.
Yeah,
I think that is a damn good model. And again, I from a different standpoint in how you stated, but even still, even if it's not a SWAC school, like you mentioned, if it's Jackson State, you want to use Belhaven or Millsaps or Mississippi College folded, but still, if it's somebody in state, but again, if I'm like Jack State, and I know how Ash probably would think, but again, just imagine. So just look at the example. What if Southern Jack State said we're gonna meet up at the screen in the screen, have a live scrimmage?
I think Jackson and Alcorn would actually be. I would love to go down to Alcorn and do a spring game. Like that would be so dope. That would be so dope.
Also, the reason why it's a damn good idea, Scotty, for FCS programs, especially in the NIL space, any revenue you got, you can put that money back to the program by way of playing the players or whatever the case may be. So, and then try to get it on damn TV and use that money. Like, again, that's thinking outside the box, bro. That's just, again, doing something different. And we would do that, if you had, the commissioner is tied to, Clutch Sports, But I'm just, I'm just saying, but it goes to thinking outside the box though, right? You know what I'm saying? So it actually speaks to that. I think it's a damn good idea. But minus the tampering, prime. Storyline, man. Jackson, Colorado for the spring. The storyline alone.
The storyline is better with Belichick. It's just better. Even though the distance and stuff like that. Let me see. I didn't see what Mr. Campbell said. What did he say? Oh yeah, I saw that. Guys, I showed you the tweet right here. We'll come to Boulder for 3 days. Yeah, I saw Syracuse and Fran. I already saw that. I know it's hard to see. Let me blow it up for you. Can you read it now?
Yeah, I saw it earlier.
Yeah, I was about to say, I saw that. Listen. See, this would be tough. Like FAMU and FIU, I thought that'd be dope. But storylines. But that's just too much of a drive. It's just too far of a drive, right? Now you're talking expenses and overnight stays and all that type of stuff. So it ain't making you no money. Yeah. But again, I think for certain schools it makes sense. It really does. Jackson and Southern, Jackson and Alcorn, Grambling and Southern, like it just makes sense.
Grambling and Alcorn, because they're close.
Grambling and Alcorn. Listen, I think that stuff. Those are the type of games that I would love to see in the spring, because again, you want to see your guys go against other talent. Even if it's 7-on-7, even if the first 2 quarters are 7-on-7, or maybe a run period, or maybe whatever it is, or an install period, or whatever. It would be great it would be great to just be able to see the players. And I think it'll be really good for coaches to see how their players step up in those environments. Like Mr. Campbell said, remember, a spring game is not about winning or losing, but evaluation. So if I can see a kid play against another kid, because, and we've all played athletics. You play ball, Zo. You knew, in football especially, you knew who was that guy and who wasn't that guy. And when you got a guy who wasn't that guy on you, what you could do with him. I think that mindset completely goes out the window when you add a different component across the field that is not a team that looks like you.
And Sky, let's be real. You got jamborees in every level of football except college. If you be real, I mean, with high school we have spring jamborees.
Yeah,
you had them all the time. So why not have them in college?
And I'm talking about full pads, like
you run the same risk.
Yeah,
you run the same risk.
Yeah,
bro. Hold on. Damn, the spring game. Why don't the SWAC have a damn jamboree day? Every team play 2 games. You just play a quarter against 2. You only play 2 games like a regular jamboree. And you play a quarter full pass against 2 schools. Make it a schedule. Make it a damn jamboree day. You can, have it in a centralized location. That could be another way to make some damn money for the conference.
That's not a bad idea.
I mean, you do it in high school. It's the same damn risk. You go get injured in football. There's no way around it. They get injured in practice.
Yeah.
But, dude, I'm just saying. Live contact. I'm just saying. Jamboree day. SWAC can have a jamboree day. Why not? I just thought about 2 games. Hold on, did we play a quarter or 2 quarters? And it was 1 quarter. You play 1 quarter. That's right. Basically, you play a half of football. You play 2 games. They were a quarter.
Yeah.
You play 2 games, both of them a quarter against 2 different schools.
I like
travel expenses will be a problem, not in a centralized location. And they had a conference pay for it. I mean, they got a surplus of money. I was told that.
Boy, you stupid. So I was told that. Hey, call lines are open, guys. 518-263-8124. 518-263-8124. If you'd like to talk about the Jamboree, the spring game, prom, any of your thoughts on today's show. A Jamboree in Atlanta at Georgia Tech would be crazy. I'm for it. Listen, again, is the travel expense, for a Texas Southern, a Prairie View? I get it. It ain't the easy. I think Jackson to Atlanta is what, 5 hours? 4 or 5 hours?
5.5.
Depending on how you're driving it, right?
Well, it's really 6, depending on how you drive it. 5.5.
You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I really do. And I think it would be a hit because people just are fiending for football in the spring. Right?
I think it's new. I'm gonna cut y'all. Look, I think it's new. Look, no, because think about it. Think about that press release on ESPN. Nobody else is doing it.
Yeah,
it's trend setting. I know people may say, again, it's just, what would anybody say to a jamboree? Because again, you do it in Pee Wee ball, you do it in we did in middle school. Well, y'all young asses. We did it in junior high school, and then you did it in high school. You did it on all levels of football. You have it. Then, like I said, in the NFL, they have split squad scrimmages. So why don't they do it in college ball? I don't get it. But again, when we talk about this NIL space, the new college football landscape, and FCS schools, you're trying to generate revenue or doing other things to create buzz. Because watch this. Let's say let's say the SWAC announced they're going to do that this year, right? Who's in the okay? Well, Jack State, South Carolina State in the Celebration Bowl. What if those two schools in particular meet up in the jamboree the following spring? Or you have some other enticing game. Well, it's FAMU and Jackson. There's a conference game. Or you could do matchups that you really wouldn't get when you talk about, at least probably the MEAC and the SWAC. I'm just giving an example. Hey, man, Jack State's not going to play Prairie View this year. What if Jack State played, Prairie View?
That'd be a great jamboree. That'd be a dope jamboree to see it. Yeah. Okay. Now you're really on to something because now I don't have to worry about seeing you. I'm not saying I'm showing you everything. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't have to see you in my season. So, yeah, I don't mind scrimmaging you, what I'm saying, at this. But, okay, so let's go back to I was about to say BB. Anyway, Coward and Mr. Campbell, I think they're both on the same pitch, but I think this is what has to happen. If you're talking Jamboree, it has to be a sponsor at this point. Now you got to have a sponsor, because now you're asking schools with their expenses to bring their programs to whatever site that Jamboree is supposed to be at. So now it definitely has to be sponsored by somebody, to put that thing on, televised or whatever. But I'm all for it. I think you mix-match teams that do not play each other in the season, and you make it work from there. I like that idea. I like that idea a lot. And if you can't, I feel like this, if you can't have it happen at the separate locations, then you go back to what you said, home and home, to the partnered close knitness of whomever. You know what I'm saying? Because again, I think you can't be scared of tampering to a certain degree. Why? Because it's going to happen. It's just the name. It's just the business at hand that tampering is going to happen. And I'd rather play an FCS program than play an FBS program and lose my guy because I couldn't afford him. You know what I'm saying? And then lose a guy because he likes this coach or he likes this better than this. I can deal with.
Here's how I would do it. You made a great point. This is what I envision. You tell me if I'm off base here. What if you got a sponsor, right, or multiple sponsors, right? But the sponsors, pretty much, you're getting the sponsorship just to cover the cost of teams there, right? Because watch this. Not every team there is going to stay for Logic. Because remember, this is a one-day event.
Yeah.
So so just feel me on this. I'm giving an example. I'm gonna use Jackson, the vet, big stadium, and Jackson is centrally located within the conference, right? So let's just say Jackson. So not every school is going to have to stay. Like, so Southern can go back, Grambling can go back, Alcorn Valley, Alabama State, Alabama A&M. So watch this. What if we had it where the sponsorship covered, let's just say, lodging and travel, right? Whatever that looks like. But then now you're talking about the attendance taking care of everything else. Because the sponsorship is taking care of lodging and travel for the teams, for the schools, right?
Yeah.
Now you have, and all the other, then you may have maybe a little bit sponsorship dollars left over, maybe, but attendance and parking will give you overflow, and then we can get to different things about how we're going to distribute that. But you'll have parking and attendance, right? Tickets to take care of everything else. Because I promise you, if you sell it Jamboree / spring homecoming, I promise you, I think it'll do numbers. I do.
I like your idea. I like this though by Wayne Morgan. He said, Scotty, they could put in stipulation in the contract that the two schools who participate cannot sign or offer a player on the opposing school roster for the year. I think this is what I would say. If a player jumps in the portal from that team, it's free game. It's free game, right? Like, unless you can prove that you tamper with them, which if you can, you can. I don't know, right? But I don't know. I think I don't know, man. It's tough. I like it, but I think like it's I don't know, man. It's tough. Let me say,
I agree with that. I'm saying that I think that, yes, if you played in the spring, whatever team, because think about it, we're literally saying you still got hundreds of schools to choose from. You just have one.
You just can't use them. You can't go at them.
If we play whoever we played in the spring, you have a year waiver that you cannot sign with that school.
SEC used to have a rule similar to that. I like it. Okay.
So again, that's not saying that you can't transfer in conference. It's one school out of 10.
Yeah. That's fair. I like that. But I really like this though. Coca-Cola Jamboree in Atlanta, Clark, Savannah State, Fort Valley, and Albany State. That's genius. That is perfection. That's what you're really asking for. And if they can pull it off, that would be absolutely amazing opportunity. I know Coach Quinn Gray watches the show. That might be something you need to set up there, Coach Quinn.
Listen, but HBCUs, if y'all want to decide to do this, man, announce that thing as soon as Christmas is over with. And then advertise it just like the Masters on New Year's Day. You advertise them for April. And one commercial come on every day until April. It's on social media every day. I literally sell it. It's a HBCU homecoming spring edition. It's a Jamboree. all SWAC schools I'm telling you, I think it would do crazy numbers.
I wouldn't be surprised. And then what, like you said, spring break, people out of school, you know what I'm saying? At the right
and I want 10%, and I want 10%, damn it.
I need that finder's fee.
What?
Joe, coming to you. What's up, Eno?
What's going on, Scott? What's going on? I like the idea of the schools going to each other, and I don't think it wouldn't cost that much, because just say Southern goes to Jackson. Southern shouldn't have to pay nothing for travel. Jackson State will house them in their dorms, and they can feed them. You know what I mean? And then when they go back to then the next year they go to Southern, and Southern does the same thing, house them and feed them. So it wouldn't be too much of a cost. What y'all think about that?
I think if there's doing a springtime and there's no amount of students or however they got to make it work, I think that's a dope idea if they can make it happen. You know what I'm saying?
You can do it, but you won't be. Jackson won't be able to house them because it's dead smack literally in before midterms. You know what I'm saying? So housing will be an issue. I know for Jackson State, because hell, they got a housing issue just for the students they got. But the reason why I say Southern, and I use the example because as you know, most teams when they travel, they tend to travel the day before. But this isn't a typical game. Hell, as you know, Scotty, a lot of times in the Jamboree, you're not even wearing full game jerseys. You're wearing practice jerseys. You know what I'm saying? And the thing, so it could be a thing where those teams could travel the day of and then go back, or they could stay the night before, or they can stay the night before, that one day, and then travel, after the game, which I think a lot of teams probably would stay the day before at a hotel.
Yeah.
That's why I mentioned about sponsorship taking care of travel and lodging.
Yeah, I think that'll probably be your best bet. You get there early in the morning, probably like noon, 1 or check-in time.
Yeah.
You practice a little bit, the day before, stretch, eat, practice a little bit, and then the Jamboree starts. And then, you make the trip back, back home or whatever. So the Jamboree probably starts at 1, probably over by 4.
Hell no, it's a Jamboree. Remember, this is a HBCU spring homecoming. Jamboree gonna start. Watch this. Jamboree gonna start at 1 and it's gonna end about 7. Because
you gotta give them guys another dorm. You gotta give them another night. You gotta give them another night. You gotta get the kids another night to sleep at the hotel.
Listen, I'm gonna treat it like a regular game. That's what I'm saying. They come in the day before. Come in on Friday. Everybody travel, because think about it. On a game, you typically travel when? You get there the day before the game. You stay, and then literally after the game, you leave. It's the same thing. We're gonna treat it like a game. It's just a Jamboree. So you're gonna have lodging, to your point. You're gonna have lodging the day before. You see what I'm saying? Travel in, have lodging, and then you'll leave after the game or at the end of the Jamboree. Everybody leaves together. But the thing is, 1 till about 7 o'clock. You can stretch the games out. But the thing is, because you want to have it where everybody outside tailgating all day long. You want to build that. Think about that. It could, man. So look. We talk about the Mad City Classic. It's like the biggest tailgate, right?
Yeah.
But then now you're gonna have people coming from FAMU with an RV. Alabama State, Alabama A&M. You know what I'm saying? Everybody coming.
Everybody. A lot of that, everybody.
Football fellowship in the spring. I'm telling you, a Jamboree, it needs to happen.
Like what Mr.
Damn it, I'm gonna get an LLC, make a name for it. Y'all gonna pay me my 10%.
I like what Mr. Kim. The trademark it. The teams that are closer play the later games. Those farther away play the earlier, so they can get out and get back. I like that. That's dope.
See that?
Listen, you get the right minds together. Outside of people who work in the SWAC administration, this could work.
I'm telling you,
really work. No, I really like it.
Yeah, and you know what? Y'all ain't got to pay me. Just give me my damn credit. That you got it from Zo. At 5%, I'll reduce it 5%.
Oh man, no, I think it's a dope idea. I really do. And again, it goes back to what Prime is talking about when he's saying, to reinvigorate spring football, right? Because there's a reason that they had it in the first place. It's for the fans. You know what I'm saying? So to just completely take it away because you don't want to deal with tampering, which everybody has to deal with, which everybody has to go around. It becomes, to me, it becomes scary, right? Like it's like, oh man, I'm scared to get my player. Well, shouldn't you be looking at somebody players to be tampering with too? You know what I'm saying? Them D2 guys or whatever, D1, FCL, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Hey, come on down here.
I tell you what, And I tell you what, too, man, you get a better real live evaluation of your players in a jamboree setting more so than you just practicing against your own.
Absolutely.
So I again, it's not nothing ingenious, but I think it needs to happen. But again, more so for us than and I say us, I mean FCS schools and HBCUs. I think because again, anything that you can use to get a leg up and to get up, and it's another revenue stream. It's a different way to bring in money that otherwise you wouldn't have. I know people tend to look at expense before, you know what I'm saying, actual revenue, but you can't look at it that way. No risk it, no biscuit.
No risk it, no biscuit, man. I love this idea, and I hope for some possible way that it can work or magically happen. But listen, as long as you get your 10%, Zo, I'm with you, bro. As long as you get your 10%, I'm with you, man. Hey, listen, it's gonna be a crazy week this week. I know there's a lot of stuff coming down with the tournament and things like that. But when you going live, Zo, let the people know when you're going live and when they can catch you.
We're gonna go live tomorrow, man. We got gotta talk about what happened over the weekend, man.
What happened over the weekend?
Alabama State won SWAC championship, man.
Oh, my bad.
Alabama State won SWAC championship,
I
man. Kudos to Alabama State, man.
I didn't know that's what you was talking about.
A lovely
I ain't know that's what you was talking about. My bad. I ain't know. Hey, my fault. My fault, big dog.
Oh, goddamn.
You know what I'm saying? And that was his former team.
Look, I look, and I'm gonna do it because y'all don't know, but man, shout out to Coach Matlock, man, straight from Memphis, man. Penny Hardaway, Penny Hardaway, former teammate. I've been knowing Matlock since he was playing high school ball. So when I was a shorty, and he was nice in high school. So shout out to Coach Matlock, man. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that tomorrow.
Man, y'all make sure y'all tune into that.
A lovely
Y'all make sure y'all tune into that. That's good television right there. That is some good television.
Hey, enjoy it because football season is approaching.
Yeah. Why? Listen, man. We in basketball season right now.
You all good. Football. I said football is approaching.
It is what it is. Listen, guys. Hopefully I can. I had an interview scheduled tomorrow. See if hopefully we can get that scheduled. If not, we probably push it till a Thursday. But listen, you can find me here as always, doing shows with my boy Zo, my guys. You know what I'm saying, and enjoying this lovely. Man, it is a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Hey, man, I promise you, I know I ain't see you put up that celebration score this many times. I know I didn't see you. I know I did.
Now, why would I do that?
I'm just saying, I know you
Why
did.
would I do that?
You know what I'm saying? You did not put this celebration score up this many times. I know. You ain't said nothing. You ain't said nothing about the mailman got to go to work. How he did deliver. None of that kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? But you want to keep bringing Heathcliff up in this picture. That's all right. The purge is coming. That's all I'm gonna tell you. The purge is coming.
It didn't come this weekend. It didn't come this weekend. Hey, listen, guys, I appreciate y'all time. Listen, until next time, you know what I can do. You know what I'm gonna do.
You know what he can do too.
I'm a holler. God bless. Oh my goodness, that was funny. You're stupid. That was funny.